Welcome to Waters World. I'm Jesse Waters. Corruption's killing our country. That's the subject of tonight's Waters Words. Joe Biden limped to Virginia this week to stump for Democrat Governor Terry McAuliffe. It was a catastrophe. Out of the gate, Joe Biden praised Virginia's current governor, Ralph Northam, a Democrat who got caught rocking blackface. Remember when that photo broke? Joe Biden buried him. But a year later, Biden appreciates his pal, Governor Blackface.
First of all, it goes without saying how much I appreciate your current governor, Ralph Northam. Where's Ralph? There you are, pal. Thank you.
The corrupt media didn't even touch it. Blacked out Biden endorsing Governor Blackface. Got to keep Virginia blue. Then Biden decides to go full CNN. You never go full CNN. Talks about Trump the entire time.
I ran against Donald Trump. And Terry is running against an acolyte of Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump? Trump. Donald Trump. Is there a problem with Trump being here? Is he embarrassed?
Donald Trump isn't running for governor of Virginia, but that's Sleepy's strategy. Dump on Trump. That's all he's got. But then a funny thing happened. A "We love Trump" chant broke out.
That's all right. Let him go. Let him go. That's okay. That's all right. Why don't you hang out and talk to me after this is over, okay?
The media spiked that too. And they juiced the crowd numbers, reporting 2,500 in attendance. Now, Waters World fact-checked it. Nowhere near that count. Didn't even crack 1,000. We're estimating around 800 people showed up. 800 people to see the President of the United States in a blue state that he won by double digits. Something doesn't add up, and we all know what it is. The whole thing was cringe, like Terry dancing. Nobody wants to see that. He's worse than Elaine from Seinfeld. In another speech in Jersey this week, Joe Biden raps, coughs into his hand, and then starts shaking other people's hands. Media silent. No masks, media dead silent. But make sure you have to mask your 6-year-old. The whole thing's a fraud. It's like the emperor with no clothes. The Democrats and the media are afraid to say this guy's got no clothes on. Because if they call him out, his entire presidency collapses. So everybody sits around pretending that this is normal. Like they don't see anything. Pretending they don't see how nuts this is. Biden and the Democrats don't see how awkward this is. They take this silence as a license to steal. Because they're not being called out for anything, they can get away with everything. That's what they think. And they are. Hunter Biden's paintings are valued at $500,000. That's more than a signed Picasso's worth. Hunter and Joe share a secret bank account, and Hunter's associates do Joe's taxes. Is anybody paying attention here? Our Attorney General's family's getting rich off critical race theory in schools. Merrick Garland's daughter married a dude who's making millions pushing CRT in Virginia. So the dad, Garland, uses the FBI to silence parents who don't want CRT. Angry parents are now the new domestic terrorists. The Attorney General's using the FBI for profit. Ted Cruz called him out, and he stonewalled.
If critical race theory is taught in more schools, does your son-in-law make more money? Yes or no?
This memorandum has nothing to do with critical race theory.
Will you answer if you sought an ethics
kind
opinion?
of curriculum?
Will you answer if you sought an ethics
I am
opinion?
answering the best I can.
Yes or no? Did you seek an ethics opinion?
This memorandum has nothing...
Did you seek an ethics opinion?
This memorandum has nothing to do with...
General, are you refusing to answer if you sought an ethics opinion?
I'm telling you that there's no possible...
So you're saying no. Just answer it directly. You know how to answer a question directly.
Of course, he won't answer a question. He's above the law. He doesn't even need to know a 9th grader was raped in a gender-fluid Virginia school bathroom by a boy wearing a skirt. He doesn't need to know the superintendent covered it up. Garland and the Democrats just want critical race theory rammed down our families' throats. The Washington Post, the worst newspaper in America, wrote, "Parents claim they have the right to shape their kids' school curriculum. They don't." Joseph Stalin famously said, "Education is a weapon whose effect depends on who holds it in his hands and at whom it is aimed." See, public schools have become a weapon, straight out of the communist playbook. That's another reason why they're pushing free college, free pre-K, and free daycare in Biden's welfare bill. Guess what else they slipped into the Biden welfare bill? Hundreds of thousands more green cards, all backed by big tech like Facebook and Microsoft. Silicon Valley doesn't want to hire American. They want to hire foreign nationals on the cheap. The government's supposed to be working for us, but no, they're working for big tech instead. Politicians save companies on labor costs, and then the companies send those savings back to politicians in the form of donations. That's the game. But Bernie Sanders wrote the bill. Isn't Bernie supposed to be against this kind of thing? He used to be.
The middle class in this country continues to shrink. I don't know why we need millions of people to be coming into this country as guest workers who will work for lower wages than American workers and drive wages down even lower than they are right now.
Where did that Bernie go? Sanders is just another corporate sellout, but with better branding. Totally corrupt. Biden has no respect for American workers either, despite his little lunch pail persona. While the working man's wages are getting grinded into dust by inflation and illegal workers, Biden killed the wall.
There will not be another foot of wall constructed in my administration.
It's costing taxpayers $5 million a day not to finish the border wall. It just sits there rotting, while illegals scooch through the open holes. But taxpayers are footing the bill for a new wall, but not on the border, around President Joe Biden's Delaware beach house. Almost $500,000 coming out of your pockets for Biden to have his own wall. It's sickening, isn't it? Politicians protecting their own homes with your money, but leaving your home and country wide open to caravans. Joe says he has nothing to do with the caravans coming into the country, but that's not what they say.
Why now?
I think it's the best time.
The best time. Because of the administration? Because of Joe Biden.
Biden hasn't even been to the border. He hasn't visited a jammed up port either. But Biden had time to unveil a first ever national gender strategy. Nobody even knows what that means. It's gibberish. We did find out Biden's strategy for getting Americans out of Afghanistan, though. A smoking gun email released shows Biden ordered the planes out of Afghanistan to be filled to excess with refugees, not caring if they weren't vetted. Just fill them up and bring them over so the planes look packed for the cameras. There's even another hostage crisis besides Afghanistan. Haitian bandits took 16 U.S. citizens hostage. Joe Biden hasn't even mentioned it. Just a few miles off our shores, and they sit there languishing. Media covered up 2 hostage crises. It's got to be hard to be that corrupt. These countries take Americans hostage, and we give their people amnesty. Now, an Afghan evacuee was just charged with raping a woman in Montana. Biden flew back Afghan rapist, but stranded Americans. The Me Too media didn't get around to covering that, did they? But Hillary's flack, Huma Abedin, says a senator once made a pass at her.
I did go back to a senator's apartment, a senator who I knew and I was very comfortable with, and he kissed me in a very shocking way.
Are you suggesting that that senator assaulted you?
I'm suggesting that I was in an uncomfortable situation with a senator, and I didn't know how to deal with it.
More media covered this than the 9th grade transgender bathroom rape and the Afghan evacuee rape in Montana. But a senator going in for a kiss with Crooked's consigliere? Front page news. U.S. senators worry about who else an unnamed senator may have sexually abused. Sexually abused. Meanwhile, a senator who we will name, Republican Richard Burr from North Carolina, sold a bunch of stock right after he got a secret intel briefing on the coming coronavirus last year. Has he been charged? He called his brother right after, and then his brother called his broker and sold a bunch of stock also. His brother hasn't been charged. Insider trading must be legal for politicians. But they want the IRS to look at your bank account if it has over $600 in it. Washington's corrupt to the bone. The voters are getting hosed, but Biden's just throwing it in our face, just how lazy it is. He's logged in more personal travel days than any other modern president. Out of the first 276 days of his presidency, he spent 108 of them either vacationing or working from his Delaware homes or from Camp David. More than Trump, Obama, Bush, all of them. The politicians keep raiding the Treasury, the Fed keeps buying the debt, the dollar gets destroyed, pushing oil prices higher, and the fuel costs are passed down to the consumer, whose wages are eaten up by inflation and open borders, wages wasted on empty shelves since everything's made in China, a communist country that just sprung a killer virus on us, but we can't criticize because they're in bed with our wicked media and tech giants, who will cancel you for coming too close to the truth. Blatant corruption is staring us right in the face. Are your eyes open yet?
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.